What's going on, everybody? All right, I was just talking to my agent, and we were talking about he's prospecting, he's quoting customers, and he's quoting within a budget that they have. And it totally reminded me back in the day when I first started prospecting and like addressing this quote almost like a barrier getting in, figuring out the cost. And I know somebody just posted the other day if he should do $2 a mile, how to quote properly to the customer. And so this, I just want to give you an example. A lot of brokers, they'll quote a number that's like probably lower than they should in a way, and I see this so much. It's like brokers will say stuff to the shippers of something they know the shipper would like to hear. Not realistic, not like a realistic number, realistic quote, but a quote that they're like, it's got to be low. I definitely get the business, because I want to get it low enough to where, okay, I'll use you. But what happens is when you quote low, thinking the customer is going to be excited about a cheaper price and go with you, in a way you're setting yourself up to fail, because what happens is you have a hard time moving the load or loads if it's a project or just more than one load. So you're setting yourself up to look bad when they say, yes, that quote will work, let's use you. And then, for example, 1, you can't find a truck. 2, you get what you pay for. So let's say you found a truck. Now that truck didn't even show up, or your customer wants to know where they're at, what the ETA is, and they're not answering the phone. So you have communication issues. So you're going to go through some choppy waters moving a load that you quoted for cheap. And this is what happens. The guy, the gal who goes in there quotes, gives a price that's actually a market price, that they know they can get that load covered, they make money, and ultimately the load gets moved. The cheap quotes that are handed out, they may get a try 1-2 times, but then they're going to have trouble moving the load. The customer ends up going with the more expensive person in the end, because that more expensive quote compared to your cheap quote actually gets the job done. And so I'm saying what I advise you to do. Sure, you can think the customer prospect wants to hear a low price, as opposed to you giving a high price, and then they're like, no, we won't use you, stuff like that. Don't be afraid to not get the business. Go ahead and give the proper quote that is going to be worth your time, makes you money, makes the carrier, makes it easy to book that load. The carrier's happy. The carrier is not going to flake on you. And ultimately, the customer is going to be happy. The customer is going to be happy even at that higher price, because the job is getting done. So it may sound good to give a cheap price, or you may know the competitor's charging X amount and you go in there and quote lower, and then turns out you're having problems moving loads, or it's poor service. They end up going with the higher price anyway. So that's why I go in there and I dictate. Basically, I don't ask, hey, can we do this? I go, this is what it's going to take, and you want to price it in a way that you can uphold your service to them, so they call you again. And that's how you should quote. Don't go in there and be Mr. Cheap person. That may get you a foot in the door, but you ain't going to open that door. So hope that helps. Y'all take care.